Hello and welcome back to another game from the space battles. And I promise this time there will be no cringy Tim Curry intro. I am sorry about it, but I just couldn't let that opportunity pass. Anyway, this time I am the one playing the Paris or the Republic. And Pref is in the galaxy, and with us we also have Red, who is in the galaxy as well. Different map this time, but still the same epicenter concept. So if you watched the latest video, you know how this works. Since the Paris is a republic, this is a ship which is extremely unreliable when it comes to its guns. You can get absolutely insane salvos, but you basically have no idea where your shells are gonna end up. And that is a bit of a theme in this game. Hence the title. But we'll see that as we get further into the game. Now in the beginning we have a destroyer running into the center, and Pref and Red are splitting up between the two sides, and I am trying to move north to see what comes here and try to deal with that and helping preventing them to push down on us. Here we also see a bit of the new capping concept in action. We saw that the enemy team were capping the middle circle, but as the destroyer went into the center, it stopped capping, and instead when our ships enter it, we start capping instead. So it's an interesting idea, and we'll see how it works in the long run. Took some long shots on a old destroyer or a curve first, and perhaps that time my aim was not the best, but it still shows pretty well that the guns do what they want to do, and you can't really solve that by aiming, at least not that much. We now see that we have two enemy destroyers that are pushing quite hard on us. He disappears and I try to take a blind shot, see if I can get some damage, but sadly I only hit one shell, and it's an overpen. Secondaries open up on the fly fire or the gearing. And I see some torps, so I hit the speed boost to accelerate in order to get in front of them. Blue Esther's detected again. I'm not sure if Pref is running Hydro or Radar, but should be one of them at least. Or possibly it was detected by something else. Regardless, it gives us an opportunity to do some damage on him. I'm not trying to slow down enough to remain at the angle good enough to shoot at him, but it's getting close. But both he and the fly fire goes down. But I am a bit further north than I would have liked in this situation. And after a brief acceleration, I decided, no, I need to start reversing. We have an enemy Paris that is pushing quite heavily. And I get a decent hit with all my front guns. In addition, there is a couple of ships behind him, and I can't really tank that, so I try to get back as quickly as I can. Now, if the last salvo was good, then that one was typical Republic salvo. Even at 8 kilometers, I aimed pretty much in the middle of the Paris, but still only 2 shots hit and both of them were overpen, so it can be a really frustrating ship to play, because no matter how well you aim, RNG dictates your results more than I think any other battleship. The Minotaur in the smoke up north has been shooting me for quite a while now. Luckily I am angled, so the damage is not too bad. Paris goes down, which is definitely a good thing. So I continue to try and deal with the old destroyer, the Saya, and anything else that might be at a good position to shoot at. Now in the center circle there is actually another old destroyer. And how our team allowed him to get that far is pretty beyond me. And he will in a while be a major issue for our team. And that salvo on the Saya again, you saw that there was nothing really wrong with my aim. Horizontally, I was right on target, but the shells still landed on both sides of him. So it is a pretty annoying ship, even though the potential is pretty massive. I keep reversing because the old destroyer in the middle is definitely a ship I don't want to give my broadside to. I had a ship or a game in it, I think it was even after this one, where I did a 39k salvo on a cruiser, and shooting at Paris is no issue either, so I try to maintain my angle as best as I can, while continuously trying to deal with the ships that are pushing down on me and the Saya here. We also see that the old destroyer has gotten even further south. Red is trying to deal with him, but unfortunately he goes down. Rev is getting pretty low as well, and doesn't have too much time left in this game, and it's looking not particularly good. And also here that I try to take out, but he disappears as Pref unfortunately goes down as well. Get a good hit on the old destroyer. And around this time, Pref and Red tells me that now it's time to carry this game, and I basically said that unlikely considering the ships that are left and my situation. I did manage to kill the old destroyer, but I have 2 fires permanent, and I have a couple of cruisers farming me. Now we did get the other old destroyer as well, and that is extremely beneficial and helpful. Notice the Norma or the Minotaur, he smokes up instantly, but I have enough time to get my shells off, and even though in the Republic, RNGesus decided to cut me a bit of a break and allow me to devastate him. So that's certainly nice. The Saya or the Sao is still annoying me, so I take a shot at him, and for whatever reason, RNGesus bless me again, and then one more time. So at this point, me, Red, and Pref are all kind of baffled at what is going on. We are all well aware of the gun characteristics of the Republic, and to see 2 salvos like that, it just doesn't really happen. So very surprised, but still I'm having a blast when this happens. I am still extremely low though. I have my heal coming up very soon, but even with it, I will be in a pretty bad position. I have tanked 2.1 million though, which is pretty okay, and did about 150,000 damage. The Aurora, or the Moskva, is a ship we need to get rid of before we can try to deal with the Norma and Paris that are left. Another salvo goes horribly wrong, with only an overpen. But my guns are fairly quickly reloaded and I can continue to shoot at him. He disappears a bit since I'm going behind the smoke, but he's soon detected again, and I can try to deal with him as the Norma is helping. Bit better hit, but still he has a fair amount of HP left. Taking a look if I could shoot at the Norma, but he disappears, and I take one last shot at Aurora before he goes behind island. And RNGesus is back and allows me to knock off the last 13-14k of him. So this has been a pretty interesting game. I would definitely say that I've gotten more good hits than you normally get in a game with this ship, but it has also allowed me, with of course some help from the remaining ships, to turn this around. Something I said to Pref and Red would not be possible when they demand that I do just that. The enemy Paris is pretty healthy though, so I'm not entirely sure if I will survive it, but at this point I'm trying to just deal more damage. Norma is detected. I'm trying to wait out and see if maybe I can get a salvo off on him. Eventually it looks like he will clear the island and I shoot, but unfortunately he does get stuck and my shells will all miss. Enemy Paris pushes out, still with a good amount of HP, and I am pretty low, so I activate my last heal. Decent hit, but majority of the damage came from someone else. Probably the friendly Paris. And he will, or the enemy Paris will go down very shortly. And left is only the Norma. Norma gets a kill. And since the game is won, I continue to push. Something that is not entirely appreciated by the other Paris. But even if I do push, I don't see how we can lose this. And I see the Norma, I wait for him to come back, but RNGesus decided to screw me over for the last salvo. And even though I aim pretty much at center, I will just hit the water in front of him. And sadly, my last salvo in the rear gun will not have time to reach him, so this game ends with a win and about 190,000 damage.